Well, I feel like it's been forever since I've actually done this. Hi forum, my name is Manny, aka CascadeScents. I'm not a fragrance expert, just a fragrance enthusiast, and if you're at all remotely interested in perfumes, in colognes, and or fragrances in general, then this might be the channel for you. Of course, today's topic is on my best fall fragrances for this fall, but before we get into all of them, just want to let you know, as always, 500 likes and a random subscriber in the comments will be picked at random to be the lucky recipient of an assorted niche fragrance sample pack. So in order to be eligible, please again like, subscribe, and comment. But it's been more than a minute, so we might as well get right into it, shall we? We're gonna start off with my first fall fragrance for this upcoming fall, designer-wise. This one's called Incense City by Allsaints. Now, this is a relatively simple, everyday-ish kind of scent that comprises of cedar, incense, and actually ambroxan. And for the most part, for all three of those notes, I kind of get them each equally. But it kind of hits your nose like ambroxan would from like an Office for Men by Fragrance One, or kind of like a Sauvage by Christian Dior. But again, the darker elements of ambroxan are accentuated here, so it doesn't feel oceanic. It definitely feels kind of like the name says, an incense city, I guess. An austere metropolitan incense city. And somehow this dark-ish scent cloud is kind of enchanting because, hey, it does actually get compliments, which is pretty sick. Now, its scent cloud isn't going to project like some of the aforementioned fragrances I've mentioned, but projects enough, and the longevity is actually rather good off my skin. And with its limited projection, I'm kind of usually told that I smell nice with this scent rather than my fragrance smells nice, if that makes any sense. And I actually think that's a little bit more personable, so I kind of like that. So if you're personally into that vibe too, kind of with a darker edge as well, again, it's Incense City by Allsaints. Please don't sleep on this clothing brand, because if you know anything about CascadeScents, I'm actually a huge fan of their clothes, and also I was clamoring for this brand to just come out with fragrances for once. And of course, this is one of the three that came out last year, and they're actually all quite really good. So for the price point, definitely check them out if you have yet to. Up next, we have a fragrance here that is no stranger to lists on CascadeScents. This one is called Avignon by Comme, Garçons from their series 3 of Incense. So yeah, we got more incense here because fall's kind of good for that. But unlike the last incense, which was still dark but rather wearable, this one is almost unwearable. Like versatility, this shit's trash, you know? So if you are looking for a fragrance that's kind of like jack of all trades, do it all, maybe Incense City, not this one right here. This is like my leave me alone, kind of sad, melancholy, gray skies, leaves falling kind of scent. Like, it's just depressing kind of scent, and it's really good at it because it accurately depicts scent-wise what a church would smell like. You know, like a Catholic cathedral, or maybe a funeral of some sort. You know, that's kind of what you're getting here. It's that kind of Western incense. So it's quite the novelty for me, but I understand that this is not for everyone. There's a couple scents here that are super daring as far as versatility, this one being the most daring. But if you're at all enchanted by this kind of Catholicism-like idea, then definitely check this out if you've yet to. Again, it's Avignon by Comme, Garçons. Next up, we have a fragrance that will never not make this list fall-wise. We're talking Hermes Eau de Toilette by Hermes. Swiss Army knife fragrance, jack of all trades fragrance for pretty much every season. Like, it's rugged enough for the winter, it's bright enough for the summer, and then for spring and for autumn, I just think it's perfect with its mix of citrus, woods, a little bit of that ICO super, or maybe a lot of that ICOE super if you're familiar with the note. Basically, it's a note here that makes it come off as woody per se. So you got a lot of that with some soil, some orange, and it just comes off as this dirty blend that's somehow clean at the same time, that you probably want to reach for versatility wise for just about anything. And I deadass pretty much recommend this to just about anyone. If you're the type that's kind of apprehensive and or bored of this new era of blue fragrances, or if you want to stay away from, you know, the standard-ish club fragrance, then maybe this might be your daily driver. I just love this stuff right here in Hermes Eau de Toilette, so it can't not be my dumb reach fragrance for the fall. Next up, I feel like I can't not have a musk on this list, so here we go. It's Original Musk by Kiehl. This, in my opinion, is the designer level mall musk. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't smell like a cheap mall fragrance or anything like that. It's definitely a rather pleasant blend of florals and just this deep woods musk. Doesn't smell stanky, at least to my nose per se, but it's definitely not your clean white musk that you might be used to smelling in other fragrances. So I can describe this in musk as kind of being brazen and pretty at the same time. Now, I do know that there's a few people I've seen on Fragrantica actually reach for this in the office, which I think is a little bit much, at least in my opinion, because it definitely projects off of me and I wouldn't want this for a cubicle environment. But hey, to each their own, so if you want to do that, you can. But more of us in everyday, I'm going to get lunch or coffee with someone I'm gonna do some errands like the groceries and whatnot, or I'm just chilling out, this might be a lax kick-ass scent that you might be into. So if you don't know already, now you know. It's called Original Musk by Kiehl's. And last but not least, here we go. This one's definitely a banger. It's Black Orchid Eau de Parfum by Tom Ford. So definitely one of the most notorious brands in all of couture and fragrance in the last 12 years. Tom Ford has just been crushing it, and this one since launch has just been crushing it simultaneously as well. So when I think of that Tom Ford kind of woman, we're talking that femme fatale, bad bitch type. And don't get me wrong, I say that with the utmost esteem. Like, that's the kind of person I think of when I smell this fragrance. So you have this vanilla kind of chocolatey take on gourmandy elements here, along with some of the tubers and the patchouli for something a little bit earthy. You got some florals in there too, so it just comes across a little bit more effeminate, but again, a kind of strong, effeminate, bad bitch, sensual type of offering. So I know the question that might be on your mind is, can a guy rock this? And clearly I'm rocking it. But if you are at all irked by sweetness and or florals, and maybe you want to reach for something masculine, definitely stay away from this. But man or woman, as far as it just making you feel like a boss, that's why I rock this scent. I just think it's powerful regardless of the sex, and that's why I'm into it for the fall. So ladies, I know you've probably all tried this, but gentlemen, if you've yet to give it a proper wearing, please do so. Again, it's the Eau de Parfum of Black Orchid by Tom Ford. But hey, Forum, that's about it for my fall fragrances this year. Thank you for tuning in as always. And again, if you guys want to be eligible for that niche fragrance sample pack giveaway, please like, subscribe, and comment if you've yet to. Also, please stay tuned for my niche list, which I cannot wait to get out to you real soon. But until then, I think that's about it for me. So thank you again for watching. Take care. Peace out. Bye. Wear your fragrances.